Hosted by you/traditional_hour_483. I have been married to my wife for 3 years. I am 27, and she is 26. My sister-in-law is 30, and my brother-in-law is 31. I've always had a close relationship with my sister-in-law. We are friends. I also have a decent connection with my brother-in-law. We're not that close, but we often talk and get along. My wife and her sister don't get along as well as you'd expect from siblings. It's not just normal sibling rivalry, it's constant fights and arguments. Anyway, 3 weeks ago, while I was having dinner with my friends, I saw my brother-in-law with another woman. They were just eating, and I didn't think much of it. I wanted to go and greet him, but I kept talking to my friends. After a while, I saw him give this woman a light kiss. I was so shocked. I decided not to confront him, and when I got back home, I told my wife everything. I told her that her sister was being cheated on and that we needed to tell her. My wife said we should talk to my brother-in-law instead of telling her sister and that we shouldn't break their marriage because her sister is pregnant. I was like, WTF? So what if she's pregnant? Her husband is a cheat. I tried to convince my wife multiple times that we should tell her sister the truth. I told her, I know you guys don't get along, but she's still your sister, and this isn't right. But she asked me to stay out of it. I tried my best to convince her, but she either ignored me or said we shouldn't break their marriage. I'd had enough, and yesterday I told her I was coming clean to my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law and I have a great bond, and I can't and won't betray her. My wife said that if I told her the truth, she wouldn't talk to me. I replied, I won't talk to you either if you don't want to do what's right. Today, I told my sister-in-law the truth. I went to her place and told her everything. At first, she was doubtful and asked me to leave. A few hours later, she called me, crying, and said that what I told her was the truth. She said she shouldn't have doubted me or kicked me out. She also told me she's leaving. I asked her, where will you go? Do you have money? She said she did, but not much. I wired her some money and told her to call me if she needed help. She thanked me and said she would only use the money if necessary, otherwise, she'd return it. My brother-in-law called my wife, and, well, my wife lashed out at me. She said I ruined her family and her sister's life. I said, I thought the moment we got married, your family became mine and my family became yours? Why the hell are you defending that piece of crap so much? What about your sister? She didn't reply and hasn't spoken to me since. I've tried to talk to her and convince her that what I did was the right thing, but she won't respond. I finally said, fine, stay angry. And if you want to divorce me, then go ahead. I think I've nuked my marriage. I don't know if what I did was truly the right thing. Commenter. If I were you, I would sleep with one eye open. Your wife seems to have no moral standards. Ops response. I have truly been thinking about this, that she might just be, but I love and trust my wife, and I was thinking she didn't want me to tell her because my sister-in-law is pregnant. Women know how stressful pregnancy and the postpartum period can be, and she might have thought my sister-in-law needed support from her husband. I don't know, nothing here makes sense to me. There was nothing for me to suspect her of cheating on me. Update 4 days later. It's been a few days since I told my wife's sister that her husband is a cheat. Just to clarify for all the weirdos, no, I am not in love with my sister-in-law. I don't have any inappropriate relationship or feelings for her. I respect her, and she's family. Yesterday, I asked my wife why she was upset and why she didn't want me to reveal the truth to her sister. I know they hate each other, but they are still siblings. My wife said it wasn't our place to interfere. I asked, are you okay with your sister being cheated on? She said she wasn't, but that revealing the truth had ruined their marriage because of my stupidity. She said that her sister is pregnant, and both the child and the wife need the father to be around. I was so shocked when she said this, like, what the actual hell? I asked her, if I were to cheat on you, would you forgive me? She said yes. I then asked, if you ever cheated on me, would you hide it from me? She also said yes. I was utterly shocked. I asked her if she understood what she was saying. She replied, yes, I'm confident. Just because you hook up with someone else doesn't mean everyone else has to suffer and break the family. I had no words. I told her that I also sent my sister-in-law some money. She started screaming at me, saying I shouldn't have helped her, especially knowing she doesn't like her sister. I said, if that's what you think, then it's better if we just divorce. She got angry, screamed, fine, and started packing her bags. I tried my best to stop her from leaving. I told her that I love her and that I just did what I felt was right. Nobody should have to suffer such a betrayal. She said it wasn't the right time. I asked her, so when should we tell her the truth? After she gives birth, because it might worsen her postpartum depression? Or years later, after she's had the baby, when she will just end up blaming us? She said we should have just kept quiet and left it alone. I tried so hard to stop her, but she didn't listen and left. I tried to contact her parents and friends, but none of them know where she is. Instead, they started interrogating me, saying that as her husband, I should know where she is and that I should have taken care of her. I even visited my brother-in-law to confirm my suspicions, but I didn't see her car or belongings there. I hate that I'm being blamed for simply revealing the truth, and my wife leaving me without a second thought makes it worse. I was so damn pissed, so today I called my sister-in-law and told her she could stay at my place since I'm going to my parents' house. I explained that my wife left and nobody knows where she is. She told me she would try talking to her parents, but later she called back and said they didn't know where she was either. I told her to think about herself and come stay at my place instead of wasting her money. Now I'm at my parents' house, and my sister-in-law is staying in our home. Maybe I'm being petty, but I hate that my wife gave up on me and left without a second thought. I don't know if she's cheating, cheated, or would ever cheat on me. What's clear is that I can't trust my wife anymore. She hurt me deeply. Commenter. You went behind her back, dude. She specifically asked you not to, and I get that you wanted to help, I really do, but you just ignored her and broke her trust. Yes, you're right to feel upset and mad that she left, but your actions led to this. You could have been more respectful and handled it better. Ops response. Yes, I went behind her back. I tried so hard not to, but she is covering up for a cheater, and she wouldn't even spare her own sister. I love my wife, and I mean it, but that doesn't mean I will give up my own morals and self-worth just to please the woman I love. I consider my wife's family as my own. Why did she try to stop me, though? Why am I the bad guy in her eyes? Is it really as easy as saying, none of our business, and forgetting about everything else? Second update 12 days later. Before I begin, I just want to address those who kept calling me names for telling my sister-in-law the truth. Why do you keep telling me to mind my own business? She's family, and if family doesn't look out for each other and help, then who else will? Strangers? This isn't just some harmless or small lie from my brother-in-law, it's life-changing. My sister-in-law isn't just my sister-in-law, she's my friend. If I didn't tell her the truth now, my brother-in-law would have just kept cheating, and I would have lost a friend if I delayed. Anyway, coming back to the update, my sister-in-law stayed at my place for only 2 days. After that, she called me and said she couldn't trouble me anymore and was going to stay at a hotel. I tried to convince her not to waste her money unnecessarily, but she didn't listen and left anyway. Yes, I am divorcing my wife. After a week of no contact, she called me and said she wanted to reconcile. She said that she was angry because I didn't listen to her and went behind her back. She said she didn't want to break her sister's family and wanted to hide it and convince my brother-in-law to stop cheating, but I messed it all up, and now she's back. I asked her to come back because I wanted to talk to her. It's not something you discuss over the phone. When my wife arrived and started explaining herself, I told her I was filing for divorce. She was shocked. She said we could make it work. I told her we couldn't. I told her I didn't trust her after everything she said and did. She had left me with no contact, and I spent my days worried about where she was or whether she was safe. Then she suddenly showed up, expecting things to go back to normal. I told her it wouldn't work. She tried to convince me not to divorce her, but I had already made my intentions clear. I also told her that her sister stayed at our place for 2 days. She got angry and said, "Fine, let's divorce," and left. I told my sister-in-law that I was getting a divorce. She wasn't happy about it but didn't try to convince me one way or the other. I told her she could stay with me instead of wasting money on a hotel. She said it was inappropriate. I responded that she could either use up all her money and struggle or accept my help. So, my sister-in-law and I have been living together for the past few days. We've discussed our spouses and their behavior, and we've both been pretty angry about everything. My sister-in-law got even angrier than I was. She ended up calling my wife, calling her names, and told me she's hell-bent on ruining my brother-in-law. She's divorcing him and plans to go nuclear, asking for as much money as possible in alimony and child support. She wants to drain him completely. My wife and I haven't spoken since she left, and we both know the divorce is final. My sister-in-law, though still angry, has calmed down because it's unhealthy for her and her baby. She started focusing on her career and reading stories about single moms to prepare herself for the future. So, yeah, that's all. And to the weirdos, stay away. Neither my sister-in-law nor I have any romantic feelings for each other. I'm just helping her. She felt uncomfortable about it, which is why she hesitated so much. Call me a moral police, but I know I did the right thing, not just for my sister-in-law but for myself as well. Now, I know what kind of woman my wife truly is. Commenter. Did your wife ever tell you where she went? I find it interesting that she has a place where she can just go for an extended period of time, and nobody knows where she went. Ops response. I don't, and I don't care. I had mixed feelings. I love my wife and tried to stop her from leaving, tried to convince her, but she left anyway. While I was worried all day, every day, about my wife, I kept wondering where she was. Is she safe? Has she eaten? But she never contacted me after she left, and her family didn't know where she was either. But no matter how much I love her, it's better if I just divorce her. I have lost all my trust in her. Not just because she wanted to hide my brother-in-law's cheating, but she even said she would expect me to forgive her if she cheated, just as she would forgive me if I cheated. I don't want that, none of it. Besides, if a pregnant woman can go so far as to put her emotions aside and think for herself, then I should also cut out toxicity and restart my life instead of worrying. In a way, she kind of inspired me.